No, he's not nerdy.
Hey!
Talking about his best
Oh, big idea.
We were talking about pedals.
Nerdy. Well, I came at the wrong time. Hang on, I'll come back. When I was younger, really into the Jesus and Mary chain, and that was right around the time I was starting to play guitar and just excited about music, and I just fell in love with how people were kind of like making something that was like sort of blurry. And it kind of like created this kind of atmosphere that you could sort of like dive into. But it's almost, a lot of that music is so good to listen to like by yourself. You know, where you would just drive around and get high and like maybe with a couple friends and just crank up the music and just get lost in that world. High on life, not, you know, this is an expression. Yeah, totally. So, you know, such a beautiful thing, I think. So, there's definitely music like we play, which is like post-punk rock, you know, after the post-punk rock.
The multiple posts.
And a little psychedelic, especially when you jump, like your hair is curved. It's very psychedelic, you know, the West Coast stuff for me. I mean,
cool. Thank
Totally.
totally.
I like psychedelic stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes my hair gets in the way, like when I'm singing, it will get in the
Are you
way.
Irish or?
No. This isn't my natural color. Secrets revealed. I'm not a redhead. Though my dad is. My dad's was born redheaded and then it turned blonde. But
Now he dyes it green. He's so crazy.
my parents used to dye their, like my parents were so weird that they used to dye their hair bright orange together, like the same exact colors. And so anytime we'd go to like a theme park or a park or anything, I'd always be able to spot them if I got lost, which was great.
That's handy. We one time all made, we went to go see Black Sabbath together, the three of us. And we made these Black Sabbath shirts, and so we drew on them with these white shirts that we had, and we all like fucking, you know, wrote, like I had like a 6-fingered hand, you know, or something like that on mine, and tried to make them all really crazy and wild. And then at the show, we all got all over the place, but it was so easy to find everyone because we were the only 3 people wearing white shirts at the show. So it's so good. It was like, oh yeah, there they are.
Everyone else was wearing
black shirts, as of course, as you would. So it's just crazy. There's just so much stuff going on in New York. It's just like a constant rat race. Like you never want to go to sleep. And you always want to wake up as early as you possibly can to go do things. And yeah, it's just like it's kind of a strange place to live in a way. Well, you know, you just have to be crafty. You just have to constantly push the envelope. Like, I think we all have figured out ways to live really cheaply, you know, so you just kind of have to be willing to move into some really shitty place. Like, I just moved into this warehouse, and my girlfriend is like, why the hell did we do this? You know, but it's really cool. Like we built these bathrooms from scratch. We like cut into the water vein. You know, there's like water shooting all over the place and stuff. And
Shall we
you know,
go visit?
yeah, come. You guys are all welcome to stay at my house. So whoever's watching this.
Enough space.
And yeah, it's a huge warehouse. You know, so. It's very cool, and we built the effects pedals there. We built the recording studio there. It's got a garage. You could drive a van into it or something like that. But the last people who rented it was in 2006 because it's so fucked. It's terrible, but it's really awesome.
It's really unique. There's like a downstairs, like a dungeon. No. But we go there a lot. We helped build the studio and just practice there and whatnot. But there's a downstairs area that like no one goes into because it's so scary.
Scary.
It's legit creepy. There's like rusty nails everywhere. It's dark.
There's this one room that has all these like saw blades and stuff that someone put on the wall. Like what it going. But just the blades on the wall, like it was some. It seems like a torture chamber or something like that. There was all these nails on the wall and stuff.
There was like a newspaper left from 1969 that was just hanging out on the tape. That's still there, I think.
Yeah, it's still
we didn't take it off. I think it's going to be there forever.
Yeah, it's broken. There's broken. But it's okay. I glued part of it back together. When we played, was it in Hungary? We played, and I think I threw the guitar or something like that, and then it smashed on the ground, and some kid ran up on stage and stole half of it.
Oh, okay.
But I still have the other half.
Well, he put it on
So-
Instagram too, though. I think.
Did he?
Right? Apparently, someone saw it. Did you see it?
Someone.
I didn't see it.
They never give you back.
That's fun. That's fine because I didn't like that guitar so much, but now that it's half of a guitar, it has less that it has to be to live up to be as exciting things. So it's as good as half of a guitar could possibly be. They're just projectors, video projectors.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get, I've got like maybe like 40 projectors or something like that. I'll buy them anytime I can get them for like $100 or so, and get like name brand projectors, and then we just hook them all up. You can link them with the ins and the outs, and then run videos off of them, and it's like I've never seen anybody do that before, and it's so cool because with the smoke. It looks like whatever you're projecting is like 3D dragons or whatever, stuff like that. It's really cool. So, yeah, cool, awesome. I like it also to be like dark and bewildering or something, so that we can kind of like, so I can't tell what's going on. So I can't focus too much on the music, and it's because it's all like about sound and about kind of like sort of a conversation with the instrument and what's going on and what's happening in the room, and if I can really tell what's going on, then it becomes something different, which it's more fun when it's, and more expressive when it's just like this pure bewildering emotion, and you really get into what's happening. So I would suggest to anyone, if they feel like they're not getting into their music or their art or something like that, put on a blindfold.
I wanted to tell this LA story.
Tell us the LA story. This is a very good story. Very good
now
story.
I'm forgetting it though before we talk about it.
This is one of the greatest stories of all time. Don't let us hype it up too much beforehand before you hear the story. Go, Leah.
All right. Okay. Fine. I'll go. Okay. It's not even really a story. It's just a statement. I lived in LA for a long time, until I was 22, and played in a lot of bands, played at shows there, and what I found really disheartening and disenchanting about playing shows where there's a lot of high energy, or I'm putting it all in, or the bandmates are, or other bands are, and there's just people that are just like, sort of standing around, looking at their phones and not really concentrating on the music. Because what I've realized being on stage and being a performer is that it is so much of like not just me playing, but like the audience contributing as well. It's like you have to interact, because like it is, especially maybe if you don't like the band, that's fine, leave, but like everybody else, as this show did tonight, like there's this joy and this fulfillment, and that's like that's what gives us the excitement.
It's so true. If you want to go to a show and you want it to be like a mosh pit, or you want it to be a dance party, or you want the band to play more, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta be the one to start that shit to make it happen.
Yeah.
You could start a mosh pit, you could start throwing people up in the air, and then people are crowd surfing at a show.
Or even
you
just
can just not shut up and be like, play another song! And it'll get everyone else to be like, yeah, play another song.
Make yourself a part of the whole movement, It's not just the artists that are playing and you watch that. That's intimidating for us. Like that feels weird, but when there's people that are like, I'm gonna go crazy for this shit, like we're just so excited, that's what gives us the thrill of like, okay, this one person is like really going crazy, so that must mean we need to go crazy.
It's also about the personality, like this kind of personality who want to give all yourself to people. Like I don't know, 60s Janis Joplin, she's ugly, but she gave all herself.
She's beautiful.
She's cute. She's ugly for other people, but she's cute for me.
Ugly inside though.
She gave all she can.
Oh yeah. It's fucking incredible. Yeah, definitely.
It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Transcends whether you think she's beautiful or not. What she's doing is fucking powerful beyond it. So that's the truth.
Real artist.
It doesn't matter if you're ugly or tall or small.
Yeah, proof and point with all of us. It doesn't matter if you're ugly. You can still play in a band if you want to.
You guys are cute.
Well, thank you. We can be uncute very quickly.
Very often you get so lost you don't know what is going on, and if you do know what's going on, I feel like it usually means you weren't really putting yourself completely into the show. So that's part of what even happens with the crowd and playing back and forth, or if things are awkward. If all of a sudden you have that moment where you like look up and it's like, you know, it seems strange, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about like your laundry, you know, or something like that, and you're watching what's going on, you're like, and then you have to figure out a way to snap out of it. So sometimes I'll purposefully try to like fuck something up what's happening, you know, so that it's like something terribly wrong happens, so that you have to you know, not really be thinking about what you're actually doing and kind of figure out a way to kind of make it happen and struggle and form back something and to be something good. Yeah. So best thing you can do is if you're paying too much attention and you're too aware of what's going on, is like throw your guitar at the drummer. You know, or something like that, and so it'll like change up the dynamic real quick. Hello.
Maybe this one?
This one, yeah, there you go, that one. That's my favorite pedal of all time. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough call. I try to, you know, I guess whatever I'm working on at the time or something, always trying to make something new and exciting or something like that. But there's no real favorites. I made this pedal one time for this guy, and it took me such a long time to make it. It was maybe like 4 or 5 months or something to build this pedal, and it was so intense. And the guy was giving me like $1,000 for the pedal, which wasn't even that much for this pedal. And I mailed it to the guy, and I was really excited about it, and it got lost in the mail. And so I had to give the guy his $1,000 back. And some mailman has the pedal, I suppose, or something like that. So that's my favorite pedal. The one that no one will ever see again. So.